Croeso Sianel Blaid Llwyd. Yes, it's time for more Password and Tyson's Day 19. Just slightly later than I'd intended it to be. It was an interesting week last week, so I took a day just to recover yesterday, but we're getting back to things now. Speaking of which, hopefully there'll be a midweek video coming up as well. At least I hope so, it depends how things go. Anyway, let's get started here. So this is where we left things off, Tyson's Day 18. There was something scratching in the back of my mind. A thought or a sound. I wasn't sure until it became clearer. Aye. Huh? Thanatos?
Yeah, it's me.
Where are you? Where am I? Am I dreaming?
Sure you are, you're dreaming.
Why can't I see anything?
What do you want to see? Just open your eyes.
Home. I want to see home.
Sure.
I felt like I was opening my eyes and my living room came into view. That was all, just my normal living room. Or at least it was at first.
This is your house?
Yeah, this is home.
Oh, it's small.
Coming from someone who lives in a mansion.
You're just jealous.
Am I?
Sure you are. Nice house, big open space. Why wouldn't you be a little jealous?
It would be nice to have those things, and a fancy house. It wouldn't be home.
Home is just a place you label. It could be anywhere.
You're right. Home is just a place, but I could have $1 million in my pocket and just wouldn't make me happy, you know?
I don't understand.
Because you're a robot.
Are you saying that robots can't feel happiness?
It'd be nice if you could, but I really don't know.
I want to make you happy, actually happy.
I want off the mountain. I want to return home with all of my friends.
And then what would you do?
What do you mean, what would I do? I'd enjoy not being in danger with the people I love.
Even knowing what you know now, the vault, Orlando's family, that someone wished so many people dead?
I don't...
Save it. Let's just take stock, shall we? You remember this?
How are you...
This is just your dream, genius. This is a memory.
That's Tyson, tonight.
Maybe. That depends on what you believe, anyway.
What I believe?
You don't know if you trust me. You don't know that if you do what I say, Tyson's going to be safe.
You're right. I just don't want him to end up like that.
Guess we'll see tonight, huh?
Before I get another word in, everything faded to black again. The moment I closed my eyes, they stayed that way. Maybe I was thinking about home too much. Or maybe it's just my want for this whole thing to be over that made home appear so often in my dreams. Either way, I'd had enough of dreaming for one night. I woke suddenly, bundled up in the bedsheets with Ty right behind me. His arm around my body and held me right to his front. Despite how distant he seemed to be the night before, here he was swooning me all the same. Laying perfectly still, I kept warm and just listened to his breathing. The past couple of days he'd been on edge, but now he was just so peaceful. Hopefully the lack of Thanatos under his bed was helping. As I went to place my hand against his, I felt him flinch. I waited before trying again, but it was enough to rouse him and cause him to pull away. Ty, are you awake? I rolled over to my side as he turned his head to look at me flat on his back.
I am now.
You were hugging me.
So?
Nothing. It's just nice is all.
Well, sorry to wake you.
He rolled back onto his side, his back facing me, and said nothing else. It took me a few seconds to register what happened and shifted closer to just cuddle him from behind.
Oh, get off, Dave.
Just in the same way when I tried to touch him, I flinched, him removing my hand the rest away himself. Did I do something wrong?
No.
Did something happen?
Dave, I'm trying to sleep.
But I sat up in bed and stared at him facing away from me. He had his eyes shut tight, removing any chance of me trying to catch his attention, for I figured it was best to just get up out of bed. Stealing glances at Tyson's back while I got dressed, I could tell from how his ears twitched he was listening to me move around. If anything, I was just confused what I was meant to be doing, so as soon as I was decent, I left the room quietly. Stepping out into the front yard, I breathed in the cold morning air as I rubbed my eyes. It wasn't coffee, the crispness was quickly waking me up. What did I have to do today? I thought back to what I'd been told was going to happen, or planned to happen anyway. But beyond spending the evening with Dean, there wasn't much else to really take up my day, just a bunch of waiting. Then there was Tyson, who went from being confrontational to grumpy to distant all over the span of a day. Didn't like seeing him like that. Clutching my chest above the area where it hurt, I wondered just what was happening to my brother, or if he was more than my brother at this point. Just didn't know. It always came down to not knowing. That alone made me slump over the railing in front of me. Oh, Tyson. Part of me wanted him to just appear and call me out for being down. Part of me wanted him to say something, anything to me that reaffirmed that we were still good, that he was willing to talk to me. Dave. I spun around, noticing Benson standing there, and realised I'd left the door open. Oh, heavens, my boy, what's happened? Sorry, good morning. Good morning. Why might you be out here this early, more importantly, by yourself? It's waking up. Figured the fresh air would do me some good. You left the front door open, which was, especially at this hour, quite suspect. Sorry. Quickly slipping out the door much in the same way Benson had appeared was Oswin, looking a bit scruffier as he'd just got up himself. No, it's just Dave. Yeah, just me, and Benson. Well, yes, I'm aware Benson would be out here. Sorry, did the door being left open bother both of you as well? Not overly. I was mostly just curious as to what was happening out this way. You weren't scared? This is my house. Why would I be scared? He refers to those in the woods. Ah, yes. Well, with Benson around, I'm quite comfortable. Truth be told, were I'd see that rabbit again, I'd gladly introduce him to a bullet. Right. I looked out to the trees, scanning them for any sign of Jack. For any fleeting glimpse of white that I could catch. There was nothing. Just various shades of green as far as I could see. Do you have any plans for today, Dave? Only ideas. Why? Never mind then. Did you need me for something? I watched him look to Benson quickly before returning his gaze to me. Not today. Well, not anymore. Perhaps tomorrow. You sure? If it's important, I can make time. We could do whatever it is now. I'd rather hold off. It's hardly important anyway. You're sure? Positive. Okay then, sure. Before I forget, Dave, it'd be best to not leave doors open in future, especially those leading outside. Don't want to cause anyone to think we've got an intruder now, do we? No, I guess not. I'll try and be more mindful in future. Now, Dave, have you made a pot of coffee yet? No, I just came out here. Oh, pity. I'll have to grab one later then. You're skipping breakfast? Well, I have something more pressing to attend to first. I try to take a gamble on coffee being made. And Benson couldn't have made it for you? Well, true, I suppose. Shall I then? No, I'll go do it. I'm up. I might as well make breakfast for people too. If you wish, my boy. Just call out should you need a hand, however. Both of them wandered back inside, leaving my thoughts. I turned back to look at the lawn, just thinking things over. Not as anything specific for me to focus on, I just needed less to worry about, less things to worry me. It wasn't long before I turned around and headed inside as well, making sure to close the door behind me as I made my way to the kitchen. Still being the first one to arrive, everything was cold and I started with the lights and the coffee machine. The machine buzzed to life as it boiled water. I milled beans and was treated to the fresh scent of coffee. Part of me wondered if I had a life ahead of me as a barista, given how just a small joy of this was bringing a smile to my face. wasn't if I thought much about my future or what I wanted to do after school. I didn't think I had it in me to do something artistic as a career. As fun as it was, I wanted that to stay fun. Something to just relax with. But making coffee almost seemed to be a middle ground for that. Pouring myself a cup, I continued brewing so there was enough for the others when they surfaced. Drinking it down slowly, my mind wandered to the prospect of the money offered to us, if opening a cafe of my own was something I could use it for. Oh, what's got you smiling? I looked up to see Dean leaning in the doorway, catching himself in a yawn before wandering closer. Just thinking about making coffee, that's all. Oh, in any particular way, or...? Oh, likes the job, I guess. Or it'd be like to open a cafe, stuff like that. It could be fun. I know Freddie loves his pizza place, so maybe just an entrepreneur waiting to happen. Bless you. The snicker gave me away, and Dean joined me in having a chuckle as he poured himself a cup of coffee. When we get home, I could see if Freddie could talk to you about setting something up if you're that keen. Maybe. I think getting out of here will be the first step, right? That seems... I trailed off and Dean nodded slowly, drinking from the coffee in his mug. Yeah, a bit like that, isn't it? What's for breakfast, by the way? Don't know yet. Maybe pancakes again? Want some help? Nah, I got it. Then would it be a bother if I just stayed here and watched? No one else is up yet. Feeling lonely? Oh, not so much lonely, just no sense in being alone at the moment. Oh, then sure, you can stay. No worries. Dean made himself comfortable and I got to work mixing batter. It was just like the other morning I made pancakes too. Oven on to make sure I could keep them warm, and I started making the batter. Occasionally I'd look over at Dean, who would sometimes be looking my way with a smile, or fondly looking out the window to the world beyond. Later this evening we'll be spending some time together. Just the two of us, and the thought made me... excited? Nervous? It was hard to say. Just now we were just hanging out. There wasn't any expectations of anything more than that. But tonight? It'd be different. It'd be a lot different. I can smell pancakes. Not the coffee? I looked up from the frying pan to look at the door just as Hoss and Sal wandered around the corner. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Making breakfast already? Dean, why aren't you helping? Oh, he didn't want any help. Oh, okay. Still handle it fine on your own, Dave? Yep, I'm fine. Hoss shrugged and made his way over the kettle to make himself some tea, while Sal wandered over to the coffee pot. Should we go wake the others? Nah, keep these warm till everyone arrives. After all, I think more sleep would be better than less sleep, right? And yet here you are, wait for any of us making breakfast. Well, I couldn't sleep. Did something happen? No, just one of those nights. Dreaming and thinking about things. Did you need to talk about it? Not really. Just more of the same sort of things. Worrying about what's going to happen and so on. But are you okay otherwise? I think so. Well, mostly anyway. If that changes, let us know. We've been over this enough times that you get the point by now. Alright, thanks, Hoss. I went back to cooking and the three of them made small chat, eventually moving into the dining room when the others started to show up. Hearing Orlando and Roswell's voices in the other room brought a smile to my face, but I was so out of it that I didn't even notice I had another visitor. Hey! I jumped, but Ty was behind me, catching my arm and holding it steady so that whatever's in the pan didn't go flying. Hey. He shifted away, moving over to the coffee machine, saying nothing else, but lingered around where Dean had been before. Continued to cook. I felt his eyes on my back silently, till I'd had enough. Thought you'd still be in bed, trying to sleep. I can't sleep. Because? Oh, just because. Uh-huh, sure. I kept stealing glances Tyson's way, unsure of what to say or do. I was scared, but not for my own safety, only his. As I went to say something next, he was already making his way into the dining room. The conversation there falling silent when he appeared. I stared at the door tied past it for a few moments before turning back to my pancakes, figuring now was the time to bring everything out for people to eat. Then, following that, I had to find something to do with my day. Things were still in the process of returning to normal, whatever constituted as normal these days. Tyson sat at the far end of the table. The rest of us had pleasant enough conversation, although it was clear we were all still waking up. Then after we were done eating, everyone split off again. Except for me, I was back into the kitchen to clean up. I made the mess, I may as well clean it up, right? I just let my mind wander, occasionally looking out of the window. I assumed keeping my hands busy would keep me from overthinking, but mindlessly doing chores seemed to be doing the opposite.
Junior, what are you doing?
Washing the dishes? Thanatos was walking along the countertop, looking down to the waterfall, looking back up at me, pouting.
But why?
Who else is going to do it?
A Betty boy, maybe? It's his job.
I guess. He's kind of busy keeping us all safe, though. Least we can do is keep the place clean.
God, you're insufferable,
says the talking rat robot.
Hey, now, be nice. Didn't you tell your teacher any manners?
Didn't yours? I looked at Thanatos until his attention was at the door to the kitchen. The moment I followed the direction he was looking, I could hear someone approaching. But Thanatos didn't make any attempt to move, standing there before shooting me a sideward glance.
We have company.
Hello, Dave. I looked at Roswell and watched as his eyes drifted from me across to Thanatos, almost doing a double take upon seeing him. He was staring at Thanatos with a frown, unsure what to say or do from what I could tell.
Is that a...
I looked from Orlando to Thanatos and back again, nodding. A rat?
Dave, a rat in the kitchen is not a good thing.
Oh, don't worry, he's a pet.
Well, says who? He's not yours, is he?
Well, no, but...
Well, it's not like he told you himself, did he?
I looked at Thanatos uncertain. All he seemed to be doing was staring at Roswell.
Well, come on, someone help me find something to move him.
Move him? Why move him for?
Well, we don't want him falling in the sink, do we? I was thinking we put him outside, or at the very least out of the kitchen.
He's fine. He's not hurting anyone. Well, he bit Dean yesterday, but still.
So two things. You know this rat was here, and he bit Dean?
Well, he was treating him pretty rough, so he was asking for it.
Well...
Orlando marched forward, snatched up a colander from where he was hanging, promptly dropped it over Thanatos.
Well, you've trapped him, now what? I guess slide something underneath and find something heavy to put on top so we have him secure until we find out who he belongs to.
You're right in there. I could hear him kick against the side of the colander, but only the once, seemingly resigned to being held down.
He'll be fine, he has air holes.
I suppose so.
Does he have a name?
Yeah. Oswin called him Thanatos.
Well, Thanatos? God of the dead, huh?
You know what the name means?
It almost sounds like you know what that name means. It doesn't matter who knows what about whatever name. Who names the rat after the god of death?
Orlando slipped the plate into the colander and quickly passed it off to Roswell, almost fumbled the contained rat, but held it solidly from above.
So I get to decide what we're doing with this?
Well, I don't mind putting him somewhere after I finish the dishes, unless someone else wants to take over.
I'd happily wash the dishes if I didn't have to deal with it. I'd really like him just not being in the kitchen.
That's easily done. Here, I'll take him. I reached out for the trap and Roswell made no sign of handing it over.
Think he belongs to Benson? Maybe Oswin?
If he belongs to Oswin, then why is he letting the rat wander around the house?
I guess he's just used to having free reign. A house this big? It's no wonder he doesn't get lost.
No wonder he's found the kitchen then. He's probably hungry.
Well, what do you say?
Roswell jostled the trap in his arm but got nothing in response, instead passing it back over to me.
Oh, interesting rat. Very interesting, very heavy rat.
What do you mean by heavy?
I mean just that. He's heavy. Heavier than any normal rat anyway.
Oh yeah, he's real heavy. I chuckled and watched as Roswell's face shifted, him not looking too pleased about something. Orlando, meanwhile, was already sidling to position himself at the sink now that I was holding the rat.
Where do you go deal with it, Dave? Oh, sure. Want some help?
Oh, sure.
I was kind of talking to, He gestured at me and I shook my head, flashing him a quick smile. Nah, I'll be fine. Let's go find somewhere safe to put him. Realistically, I wanted to have some words with Thanatos. That was going to be hard while keeping the secret that he could talk. Orlando's hand on Roswell's shoulder stopped in front of another word. I quickly made my escape with Thanatos still hidden in the colander. I'm still thankful I didn't run into anyone else on the way to the basement, assuming that would be the best place to drop him off with it being dark and fairly out of the way. Taking the stairs barely one at a time, wanted to make sure I didn't drop him. The moment we hit the floor, I put the plate down and lifted the colander off.
Took it long enough.
What are you even doing? Is this nothing you need to do for tonight, or...?
Yeah, you got me that covered well enough. Pretty sure as long as we have a repeat of last night, you're in the clear.
Then what?
Well, checking out my options.
Like you were with Dean yesterday.
Or something like that. But another thing I wanted to ask you for, I was still rudely interrupted.
Didn't expect Orlando to trap you like that either.
Must have been knew I wasn't a rat, eh?
Still, you have feelings, right? Thanatos almost seemed offended that I'd asked, but didn't clarify at first, almost seeming to think it over.
That's a complicated question.
Can machines have feelings?
I have an opinion, as if I'm a standard case anyway. Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
So if things went wrong for your master, you'd be sad?
Of course.
But feelings?
Well, I can emulate them well enough. At the end of the day, it's just an emulation. As long as I can make you think I'm feeling an emotion, it's good enough, isn't it?
So you never get sad? Happy? You said something about being bored at some point too.
Maybe I picked up actual emotions after so many times going through the same things. I learned them.
Sure. But what did you want to ask me?
Come with me. It's important we do this somewhere else.
He scurried over to the room with the vault door and I followed him inside. When I had the door closed behind myself, he spoke.
So here's the question. Are you willing to die?
I'm sorry, what?
Not that complicated. Just asking if you're willing to die.
For what? I mean, no, maybe. I like being alive mostly, but... You're asking me for a reason, aren't you?
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But it's an important question, and yeah, it's a reason.
But you're not going to tell me?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Reason's pretty simple, too.
He looked up at me looking serious. Or maybe it was grim. Either way, despite him being so small and standing on the floor, I felt uncomfortable.
There'll be a day coming up, potentially, where you'll need to make a choice.
A choice of if I'll die?
In place of someone else, yeah.
Who? Is someone going to... His expression said it all. No. What's the password? We can fix it, right?
Not when you're the one that makes the call.
What do you mean?
Remember, this works on trauma. If you make the call and willingly die a quick death, can't be traumatic, right? Also, can't save yourself if you don't survive.
So that's it? Someone's going to die or I'm going to die instead?
I'm just asking if you're willing. If you are, I'd ask you why. If you aren't, then we might not be walking into a mess.
What's going to happen?
Depending on how the next couple of days go, we might be facing a worst case sort of deal, yeah? That being everyone keeling over for one reason or another.
Might? Why are you bringing this up? It might not happen.
You want me to just sit back and watch you all die?
What I want is you to be just not so difficult.
Had a chance of that happening.
So what? All I've got to do is wait and see what happens?
Pretty much. Die or don't. You have to make the call. If you're lucky, you won't need to.
I eyed him warily, sitting down on the floor to rest my feet. Can I ask you something, Thanatos?
What?
Your master, right? What are they like?
Why do you want to know?
I'm just curious. There must be someone that you're nice to, right?
I'm plenty nice. But my master is good.
Just good?
What do you expect me to say? Of course he's nice. Nice enough anyway.
But he's also good?
That's complicated.
What's complicated about it?
What even is good? That's not something you can really program.
Why not? Just put the program in for what's good and what's bad. Easy. You're talking about programming morals into a machine? You can't. They follow commands, right? So why not give them morals too? Nice thought that, but not how it works. And how do you know if your master is good? He went to retort, but stopped, caught off guard. He's good. If you say so. Well, ignoring the killing, manipulation and everything, he's good. Good enough anyway. Killing doesn't sound good. He's doing it for a good reason. Yeah, the whole marked for death thing and saving 2 people thing, right? 2? Yeah, that's what Oswin said, right? That it was 2 people. Alright, guess he'll be saving 2 people. Oswin or your master? Isn't it obvious? No. My master only cares to save 1 person. 1 person and that's it. Just 1. Just 1. They think that saving this 1 person is the key to stopping this whole mess. Anyone else? Well, that's a bonus, huh? Do you know who it is they want to save? Of course. But you're not going to tell me. Nope. Sorry, kid, that's just how this whole thing has got to go. But then, why ask me if I'm willing to die? So I could sacrifice myself for your master? Like I said, at the end of the day, it's your choice. You make the choice willingly without me saying anything. Not even to save my master. You just sometimes make that choice. But why? You never survived to tell me why you did it, so your guess is as good as mine. Oh. I played with my hands, looking at the floor. Thanatos bringing up my own death felt so surreal they didn't register any worry or sadness in that moment, just confusion. Look, Junior, I'm just a machine. I don't get life, I don't get what's going through anyone's head. I just watch things happen and I remember it. So you don't care? No, I don't. I can't. It doesn't bother me. I'm just trying to get what was asked of me done. Okay. Yeesh, you're a downer, huh? Sorry. I caught Thanatos looking at me, but I didn't really know what else to say. What are you planning on doing now? I don't know. Maybe go find someone to hang out with, maybe something else. I'm just feeling sort of down now. Go and investigate someone else's death later? Huh? What do you mean? So what were you doing yesterday? Figured you'd make an effort to go look into Benson's next. Oh, I wasn't planning on it, but do you think I should? Maybe. Today, tomorrow, doesn't matter to me at all. Just maybe something to consider. I guess I could go ask Benson about it. You never know. There you go. Something you can focus on today. I'll do it tomorrow. I've got something else I need to do today. Like what? I've got a thing with Dean later. What, like a date? I shrugged at him, wondering why he's even asking. It's not really a good time for that, is it? If not now, then when? We could be dead tomorrow. I guess. Look, none of my business, just a strange thing to do now of all times. Because of tonight. Pretty much. Keep that wolf boar in your bed for 1 more night and you're clear. Just don't forget. I won't, promise. I stood slowly, dusting myself off. Well, I should go. Roz and Orlando probably want to know what I ended up doing with you. And what are you going to say? I put you somewhere safe, that's all. Yeah, I'll do, I guess. When I opened the door, I watched Thanatos scurry away into the darkness and out of sight. I wondered where he disappeared to or he managed to slip away. By the time I thought to ask, he was long gone. As I climbed the stairs and stepped into the foyer, Roswell was sitting on the stairs, seemingly waiting for something. Oh, hey Roswell, what are you doing? Waiting for you? Me? Why me? Well, the rat. Alright, I put him somewhere safe, don't worry. Uh-huh. Is everything okay? Oh yeah, everything's fine. Or fine enough anyway. Well, good. We looked at each other a bit. Me trying to figure out if Roz was trying to figure something out, and maybe he was doing the same to me. So, you were waiting for me because of the rat? Well, yeah. Did he bite you at all? No. Did anything happen? You were gone a while. I got distracted down the basement. The vault and stuff, you know. But does that rat bother you at all? Anything seems strange about it? Maybe. I've met a lot of rats before. No rat's meant to be that heavy, Dave. Maybe he just eats a lot. Don't act dumb, Dave. That rat was way heavier than just an animal that had just eaten something. Well, what do you think it means then? That he's that heavy? Oh, well, that's something I was hoping to find out from you, really. I have a guess, but... What's your guess? Well, it's not a rat, for starters. But you saw him. He's a rat, isn't he? He looks like a rat. Who says he's not a polymorph tanuki or a glamored fox or even a unicorn? You've lost me. All I do is that what we see is exactly what's true, right? What if he's not a rat at all and just choosing to look like one? You're making it sound like he has, the ability to choose things and think. Who say he can't? Fact is, that rat's suspicious. To me, anyway. So, what do you want me to do about it? Be careful? Well, obviously, but... I watched as he looked over the way towards the basement, thinking things over. I might go have a look and see what I can find out. It's a new thing to come up since everything started happening. Oh, alright. Good luck, I guess. He might still be in the basement where I let him go. Alright. One last thing. Have you seen Dean at all today? Since breakfast, I mean. Why? Just wanted to go looking for him. I think I saw Dean heading outside to the backyard. I don't know where he'd have gone from there, but that's the last I saw of him. Alright, thanks. Let me know how your investigation of the rat goes. Oh, don't worry, I will. See when I can find him. Wish me luck. Hopping up off the stairs, he wandered towards the basement and disappeared out of sight, heading down the steps. Once he was gone, I wandered over the backyard in search of Dean. Dean? I made my way quickly over the greenhouse, closing the door behind me and breathing out as my heart rate leveled out again. Dean, are you in here?
Dave, a pleasant surprise seeing you here.
Yeah, just get and see what you were doing.
Well, I was standing to a couple of things. I was actually going to try whittling something for you, given it's been a while.
You were what?
Whittle. Wood carve, you know.
Oh, neat.
Everything alright?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound very convincing.
He patted me firmly on the shoulder and then promptly knocked me backwards into a bag of potting soil, so I was sitting down.
What's on your mind, handsome?
Just troubled about stuff. You know, the usual.
Well, it's not good that's, well, the usual.
Sure, but there's just a lot going on. Even Thanatos showed up again this morning.
The rat?
Yeah. Dean scratched his chin and sat down next to me, thinking it over.
What did he want?
No, but Roswell and Orlando showed up and then we moved him just so he wasn't in the kitchen.
So he was hungry?
But if he was a robot, he wouldn't want to eat anything.
You never know. He might want chips.
Chips?
Microchips?
I gave Dean a half-hearted chuckle but then shrugged. I guess I'll ask him next time I see him.
That's the spirit.
He got up again, picking up a knife and a small piece of wood. As he joined me again on the bags of soil, he set the knife down nearby and started looking over the block of wood carefully. So this is what you're going to be doing today?
Well, hey, I have a deadline, don't I?
For what?
Tonight.
Ah, right. The thing Tyson told me about. The thing tonight, I mean.
Oh, that's right.
He nodded, setting the piece of wood down to face me properly, looking me over.
Excited?
The thing tonight? Maybe a little.
Only a little? Oh, that's disappointing.
No, I mean, I guess I'm curious about what's involved and what's going to happen, but I suppose I'm just keeping an open mind.
Well, I think that's not a bad way to look at it. After all, it'll go terribly for all we know. At least we'll have a story to tell after.
I hope so. Something nice would be, well, a nice change of pace.
Well, then hopefully all goes well.
Does that mean I should go find something else to do in the meantime? Like, if you're going to spend the time until then working on the, I gestured the wood beside him and got a quick series of nods.
Well, you don't mind, yeah. Won't be much of a surprise if I don't get to finish it in time.
Alright, that's fine. I suppose I can catch up with you later, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
Dean saw me out before I closed the door behind me so he could focus on his carving. The air was still fresh and crisp, and for a brief moment I forgot about how exposed I was out here. Immediately my eyes went to the trees, but I found myself staring beyond longer than normal. Not because I saw something, but maybe I was getting used to it again, slowly. It didn't make me hesitate in getting back inside. The moment I closed the door behind me and turned around, I noticed Ty standing by the door leading to the dining room, watching me. Ty?
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, nothing.
Oh. He's picking at the fur on his arm again, frowning.
What are you doing outside?
Just talking to Dean. You know about the thing tonight.
All right.
Are you, good? You been a little,
Oh, fucking great. Why?
Did you sleep well?
Dave, what do you want?
I'm just worried about you.
I'm fine.
You're not, Ty. Or at least something happened this morning, a little last night, and just, I don't know.
So I'm allowed to have shit going on?
You're not telling me? Did I do something wrong?
No.
But you're so cold. He sighed, shrugging.
Look, to make you feel better, we can go watch a movie.
Really?
Don't sound too excited.
I just like doing stuff together. It's an improvement over this morning, too. He rolled his eyes at me, made my excitement a little too apparent.
You can go watch it by yourself.
No, I'll be good. We wandered upstairs with Tyson leading the way, heading right into the rec room. I went and grabbed some beanbags while Ty busied himself with picking out a movie. Before long he returned to push me back into my seat and sat down next to me.
Happy?
I guess. We pressed play and the movie started. Some scary looking movie, but it became clear pretty quick that it was meant to be a comedy. It was a nice distraction, but I kept catching myself looking across at Tyson sitting there tugging at his fur. Shuffling closer, I rested my head on his shoulder, and he immediately had his arm around me, lightly rubbing my upper arm. I could feel him relax a little under my head. I could hear him let out a heavy breath that he must have been holding. Soon after, he sank back into the beanbag to get comfortable. Then, when the movie was done, he didn't budge. Instead, he just stared at the main menu screen of the DVD when he looked back to it. I liked that one.
Oh, me too.
Did you want to watch another? He tensed and pulled away, sitting up again.
Oh, maybe.
Put a hand on his leg and he flinched slightly, but kept his eyes forward. Are you okay?
I don't know.
Can I have you find out, somehow?
I don't know.
Then what do you know? What's going on in your head, Ty? He flexed his fists briefly, looking sideways at me as he hung his head.
You like Dean, right?
Dean's pretty good, yeah. Why?
Oh, no reason.
You can't just ask me that and expect me to think there wasn't a reason you were asking, Ty.
Okay, maybe there's a reason. So what?
It's bothering you is what? Or something is, and it's the only thing you've given me to work with.
Are you happy?
Where's this coming from?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe because I care?
I know you care, Ty. Or at least I hope you do. I'm just confused. I don't really know how I'm meant to be helping or if I can help at all at this point.
Why the fuck are you trying?
Because I care, Ty. You're like family.
You're not going to tell me some bullshit like you love me, are you?
Now it's my turn to flinch. I leaned back, not sure how to take that.
Because if you are saving it, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, well, I trailed off, shrinking into the beanbag and staying quiet. Ty shifted through a few emotions on his face while once again sighing and turning to me.
Look, why don't you put on the movie? You can just keep hanging out.
Okay, sure. I got up and did just that, returning to my beanbag and sitting down. The movie played out in the same way as the first. Both of us seemed to be sitting next to each other, shell-shocked. We didn't speak until that movie was done too. Without waiting for him to ask, I got up and went to change to the next one. But he reached out and grabbed my hand and yanked me back into my seat, getting up and asserting his turn to change the movie. Then through that movie I was uncomfortable, not watching in favour of watching Ty, also not watching the movie, and instead staring into space. Ty? He looked across to me, a slight tilt in his head, the quirk of his brow wondering where I wanted. Are you okay? Like, really?
Well, this again.
Well, yeah, this whole thing is nice, but just doesn't feel right. Something about it feels off.
You're welcome to leave if you want.
But I don't want. I want to be with you.
Why?
Because I like being with you.
Why?
Because you're, my brother?
Your brother.
Right, you're my brother.
Your fucking brother.
Right?
I'm not though, am I?
What do you mean? Of course you are. The fur on his neck bristled and he snarled lightly.
No, I'm not. Those papers never got signed, Dave.
Papers don't matter. Only thing that matters is how we feel about it, right? I went to hug him, assuming that would be enough to show my care, but he roughly shoved me back into my spot.
Don't fucking touch me.
Huh? What? What did I do?
You want to know what you did? What you fucking did to me?
I didn't. He shifted so he looked bigger. In kind, I shrank into my beanbag, scared and confused.
I was perfectly fine living my life assuming everyone was the worst. That life just sucked, but I was putting up with it.
I went to speak, but he clamped my muzzle shut with a hand.
And you fucking come along when I'm about to be expelled and offer me help when I've been nothing but an asshole to you and your friends.
He snarled a little now, and I didn't dare to move in case his grip on me tightened.
And you started bringing me food, your dad taught me to drive, all this good shit that I never had at home.
My eyes were wide, wondering what was happening. I could try and calm Tyson down. The moment I went to move his hand, his grip turned painfully tight, making me yelp.
David Tyson's back to square one, except now I've got you to take care of. People up and leaving is going to hurt that bad, then fuck it, I'm going to leave first.
Gripping me tightly one last time, he pushed me deeper into the beanbag while letting me go, standing up.
Yeah, we are being all close and gay and shit when you have a date with Dean tonight. It's so messed up, Dave.
But ow. I struggled to get to my feet and rubbed my nose as I thought of what to say. I'm sorry.
No, you don't get to be sorry.
What? I don't?
You want to be sorry, then you have to fucking fix this. Fix what you did to me.
What did I do? I don't understand.
Of course you don't understand. Why the fuck would you get it?
I felt stupid, not knowing exactly what was wrong or what to do, so I just stood there dumbfounded. What was even happening? Where was this coming from so suddenly? Ty, listen,
Don't you say another word.
No. Once again he had his hand on my muzzle and he's gripping me tighter than before.
You say what I think you're going to say and I'll...
He huffed out but didn't move his hand.
Get this through your skull, Dave. After this month, I'm leaving. We get off this mountain, I'm gone. If it makes that much easier for you to accept, then listen to what I'm about to say. Listen damn good.
He got in close to me and spoke in barely a whisper, holding eye contact with me.
I don't love you, not as a brother, not as a fucking boyfriend or anything, so leave me the fuck alone.
The words had stunned me and left quickly after that. Quietly, just as quiet as I found myself back on the beanbag staring at the screen we were watching movies together on. What happened? Where had I gone wrong? What did I do? All these thoughts happened as I felt the tears just falling from my eyes and down my face. I curled up tight, confused and scared, hurt and confused somewhere in my chest or stomach, I didn't know. All I knew was that it hurt in a way I just hadn't experienced before and it sucked. Some point I must have fallen asleep from exhaustion. I felt a familiar warm hand on my face some unknown time later. As I opened my eyes, Orlando was kneeling next to me, looking concerned, and rightly so. Are you okay? I flashed him a smile, but it broke immediately, replaced with a low whine and a few pitiful sobs. Dave, what's wrong? What happened? I clung to his front, unashamedly wiping my face on his shirt while he stroked my back. Tyson, he... In the moment I didn't think about what mention his name might mean or cause Orlando to do. He just remained stroking my back, only hesitating for a moment upon hearing the name. Did he hurt you? Pushing back for him to wipe my eyes on my sleeve, he let me fall carefully back into the beanbag while he sat cross-legged on the floor in front of me. Did he hit you? What did he do to you? He just... That sinking feeling returned, the special one I remembered way back from when Dad died. I could hear it in my voice this time, though. I could feel it in my face as everything relaxed. Not in the good way, but that defeated, sad way where I just stopped feeling. said he doesn't love me at all. Oh, well, he said such mean things. All I wanted to do was help and be there for him. No, I just... Lifting my head to look at Orlando took everything I had. Even then I managed to crack a smile. I'm sorry, I guess I was wrong about him, huh? He wanted to say something and was holding back. I could tell just from how the corners of his mouth were pulled back. It's all right. You can say it. I think there's a lot to unpack when it comes to Tyson, but even then the person who knows him best would be you. Yeah, well, I thought so too. But now I'm just sore. In here? Carefully touched my chest and I nodded slowly. Okay, well, He took my hands and with some effort it pulled me to my feet. Come with me for a bit. Okay. We went into his bedroom and he closed the door behind us, sighing. I didn't look around all that much, but I felt his hand take mine as he guided me over to the door to the bathroom. What are we doing? You're going to have a shower. You're going to get into that hot water and just relax a little. Wash your face so you don't feel gross. When you do, I'll be here with a fresh towel and some new clothes. Okay. So go on, go get relaxed. I'll see you in a bit. I wandered into the bathroom and leaned back against the door, just listening. I heard Orlando wander around for a bit before leaving the room. That's when I figured I should do as he said. Under the water I felt a little better. Or at least once I got to washing my face I did. With a clean face came a different kind of tiredness. Maybe not quite apathy, maybe not actual fatigue, but I was tired. Stepping out of the bedroom I felt warm and fresh. There's a level of numbness I couldn't quite shake. I'm out of the shower. I can see that. Come here. He waved a brush at me and I shuffled over the bed to sit next to him. Do you feel any better? A little. Orlando went about brushing. I let him work over my fur. I stared off, thinking about Tyson, worrying about him and trying to figure out what went wrong and when. Am I a bad person? Don't you start thinking you're in the wrong here, Dave. I must have done something wrong, right, for that to just happen? Tyson has issues. I have issues. Well, yes, but everyone has issues. Tyson's are just, Tyson-sized. What's that even mean? I guess what I'm trying to say is that whatever issues he's got, they're made to be issues for him. Why do I feel like one of his issues? Or maybe I'm not anymore. I don't know. Dave, listen to me. You're a handsome, loving, amazing guy. You always put out this version. You've always seen the good in people before the bad. Even Tyson. I grunted, leaned a little more into the brush. Guess what I'm trying to say is that if you being the kind of person you are is an issue for Tyson, then I don't think that's something you should worry about changing. If you can't appreciate the good in you, then good riddance. You're just saying that because of past history. I'm saying this because I'm right. If he wants to be an asshole, then let him. You have better things to worry about. Can I tell you something, Orlando? Of course. I'm scared I'm losing my brother over something I don't understand. I can only imagine. I think I love him, maybe. This is all so confusing, I just thought it'd be simpler. I sniffled and sighed, rubbing my eyes while Orlando brushed me all the while. If I lost Tyson, I don't know. Loving people isn't easy, Dave. Take it from me. Why is that? Just speaking from personal experience. Oh. I hung my head a little more, eyes locked on the floor between my feet. Orlando. Yeah? Do you love me? He froze mid-stroke, carefully and slowly finishing the path the brush was taking before slapping it against his other palm. At least that's what it sounded like. Of course I do, Dave. We all do. That's not what I meant. Love is complicated, Dave. It's not the easiest thing to figure out, so I don't want to give you the wrong answer. I whined and he wrapped his arms around me, giving me a squeeze. I know you're dear to me and I wish you every happiness. I just don't think I can provide it for you this time. Sorry. Don't be sorry. You haven't done anything wrong. How about tonight just the two of us make some sweets and just binge eat and talk about boys? You know, how they're stupid. I can't tonight. I have the thing with Dean. You still want to do that? I think so. It might be a nice distraction. You know, Dean likes me. I don't think it's the best idea, but it's up to you, really. I still want to go on the date thing. It might help me forget about everything with Ty, if only for a night, too. You sure this is what you want? I turned around and flashed him a smile. It wasn't entirely genuine, but I just wanted something as a distraction to how I was feeling. Truthfully, the prospect of a night with Dean still sounded fun. I'm sure. Well, okay. Yeah, right, okay. I should probably get ready for that, huh? That makes two of us. What do you mean? I'll leave that part as a surprise, but for now change into these and do what you have left to do. He patted a neatly folded set of clothes I recognised as my own, and he hopped off the bed. You went into my room to get clothes? Well, you weren't going to go wearing mine, were you? I'd consider it. But yes, I went and got you some of your clothes. I'll see you downstairs when you're ready. Orlando left me to get changed, and I started to have second thoughts around the time I was putting my shirt on over my head. Wandering from Orlando's room, I went back to mine to see if Tyson was there, and to my relief he wasn't. I didn't realise I was hoping he wouldn't be there until I'd arrived. As I was fixing my fur in the mirror, I was caught off guard by the sound of someone knocking on my bedroom door. Hello? Dave. Dean's sing-song voice carried through the door as I wandered over to open it. Taking one last breath before I turned the handle, I put on the best smile I could manage. Well, hey there. Hey, Dean. He reached out for my hand and I took his, finding it closing around mine. I've got a treat for you. Oh, yeah? Well, at least I hope so. Come on. As quickly as he showed up, he guided me forward with barely enough time to close the door to my room. Looking forward to this. I think so. Nervous? Something like that, yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm in the same boat. He approached the doorway to the dining room and stopped short, knocking lightly on the doorframe. Hello? Oh, welcome. I have a reservation for two. Should be under Dean. I looked between the two of them, a goofy smile forming on my face from how dumb this was sounding. But something about it was sweet and made me chuckle all the same. Ah, yes. Right this way, gentlemen. Orlando wandered the dining room again with a spring in his step, and I felt Dean's hand squeeze mine gently. Ready to have dinner? We were taken to the far end of the room where two places were set, close by to the kitchen where Orlando gestured for us to sit down. Dean hurried over and pulled out a chair for me, and I sat, holding on as he pushed me in quickly before sitting down himself. So? A bit fancy, huh? Took a fair bit to get a reservation. But Dean, this is just, you know. Oh, I know. All things considered, I didn't do a bad job, huh? What did it take to throw together? Oh, a few favours, nothing on that really. Plus picking the right time. You sure did pick a time. Well, it's either now or never, in my opinion. If not now, when? With everything that's been going on, do you really think it's, appropriate? I do. Everyone needs a break from worrying about things, and something nice to break stuff up can just, reset things. I don't think I get it. Do you mean, make us start worrying all over again? Oh, no. More like unbottling all the worry, if only just for a little bit. Before I get a word out, Orlando came back up with some soup and sat in front of us. Pumpkin, likely to use up what we carved from the big one in the greenhouse. If Orlando is our waiter, wouldn't we meant to get menus or something? Well, not this time. I figured I'd be his call. He seems to know what you like, and I'm pretty easy to please. You had no say for what we're eating at all? I may have picked something for dessert. That's something you absolutely did. What did you go with? I'd ruin a surprise, wouldn't it? I looked down the soup and gave it a taste. Orlando wasn't one to disappoint, though, with what appeared to be some sort of white cheese crumbled over the top and what seemed like almonds sprinkled over that. This is the fanciest pumpkin soup I think I've ever had. Oh, don't worry. Won't cost you anything. All my treat tonight. He wiggled his eyebrows and I shot him a look, the both of us chuckling before digging in. When we were done, Orlando came back out and took the bowls away, saying our main courses weren't far off. He's not seriously running anything by himself in there, is he?
Well, I don't think Sal'll be helping all that much. Maybe washing dishes.
What about Roswell and Hoss? I feel bad kind of, being in here by ourselves.
Nope. I asked them to this afternoon as part of the favours. They have dinner already squared away in there. I think Hoss and Roswell were going to go do something together tonight anyway.
Like what?
Well, I didn't say. Honestly, didn't really worry about it so much, given I just wanted to spend the night with you instead.
Huh.
Why, huh?
Oh, it's a nice feed-in, that's all.
Well, good. That was the plan anyway.
Then the main course came out and I called Orlando to give me a wink as he set the food down in front of us. Wasn't sure what he was signalling, but everything looked great.
Nothing beats fresh pasta, huh?
We're not going to do it like the dogs do, right?
Oh, wait, what?
With the pasta in the mouth and whatever.
Oh, no, not this time. Might be a little messier than what I was expecting, unless we still have dessert to get to.
Probably a good idea, yeah.
Before I forget, here.
He placed down in front of me a small wood carving. I set my fork down immediately to have a look at it. It's a hyena.
Well, I tried anyway. Glad to know you could recognize it.
It's mostly the teeth, although I think I'm just a special case.
Especially in what way?
I think it's mostly my family has their pronounced teeth. I've seen it in others, but I don't think it's like a thing that hyenas need.
I still think it's cute, though.
I chuckled as I turned the carving over in my hand. But this is cool. I like this.
Well, I'm glad. Pretty happy with how it came out, although I was a little rushed.
My stomach felt full and warm. As the meal being progressing, I found myself just being content in the moment. It was nice, and I found myself all the more thankful that Dean decided to put all this together. And here's dessert. Enjoy. I looked down at a slice of pie in front of me. It smelled tangy and sweet, delicate but inviting all the while. Lemon pie.
Not just any lemon meringue pie.
What's wrong?
Nothing, at
least I don't think so. Just wondering something. Like what? I gone ahead and tucked into my dessert, finding the flavours on my tongue making me smile.
Well, I asked for pie, but I didn't expect this kind of pie.
Do you not like it?
Well, it's not that, just someone used to make pie like this for me back in school is all.
Someone special?
You could say that, yeah. I guess an ex-boyfriend of sorts, but,
Dean took his fork to the pie and closed his eyes briefly, put it into his mouth. What I didn't expect was a frown to form after. Does yours not taste good?
I'm just a little worried as to where Orlando got this recipe from. Maybe it's just been so long that I imagined things, but still.
Could always ask him.
True.
As if on cue, Orlando reappeared to check on things. Was everything alright? Can I get you two anything else? Dean was wondering where the recipe for the pie came from. Sorry, that's a closely guarded secret. Was gifted that by my coach.
Ah, right. Well, alright.
Besides, no offence, but I don't think you'd be able to pull off this recipe anyway.
What makes you say that?
Well, what was it, Rami?
Did you just...
What? I hadn't gone to say anything yet.
No, before that. You said Rami?
Oh, yeah. Watanuki-senpai taught me this recipe. Taught me a few others, but figured I'd bust this one out given he said he tested it with bears before. I looked between Dean and Orlando, slowly piecing it together. Granted, bears always seemed to be a touchy subject with him. Ever since what his ex did to him, he always found it kinda tough to talk about. Had me promise I wouldn't let a bear break my heart, too. The guilt on Dean's face was all too clear, and he shrank in his chair. But it's a good recipe, at least I think so. I think the pie is good, yeah. What's gone into you, Dean? You're the one that asked for pie.
Oh, I didn't think you'd make his pie, though.
I watched as Dean and Orlando stared at each other, eyes wide. One looked panicked, the other slowly piecing things together as I continued to enjoy my pie. Wait. You! Dean threw his hands up.
Me?
You and Rami? Seriously? This might be a bad time. Can I have more pie? Orlando slid what pie was left on Dean's plate over to me and stared Dean down. I still worried when Dave said he had a bear show interest in him, but now it all makes sense.
What makes sense?
You and I are going to have a long talk after this, Dean. A long talk.
What did I do?
You know what you did that Tanuki? Think I'm going to let you do the same thing to Dave? You've got another thing coming.
But that was how long ago?
What?
Like, Dean hasn't done anything bad to me so far, so...
Well, how long ago would it have been?
Don't wait. Talk about Rami later. I didn't know you two knew each other too, but,
Okay, fine. Let me go get you a new piece of pie, too.
Sorry about that.
What for? Sounds like I'd just be apologising for being there for that?
Well, it's alright. Probably better it's out in the open now, anyway.
Orlando returned another piece of pie, but gave Dean a weary look. The rest of the dessert was spent quietly before Dean rose from his chair and looked out the window. I got up and saw Orlando come to clear the plates away. He gestured for me to go to Dean while he cleaned up. Dean took me by the hand and led me outside. Closing the door behind us, he took me by the hand to the stairs at the end of the deck and sat down, bringing me with him.
Well, this is nice.
I looked across to Dean, who was looking up at the sky, dusk slowly shifting to night as more stars came into view. His smile slowly faded, so instead he just looked like he was thinking hard about something.
Dean? Well, what's up?
Nothing, I think. You were just zoning out a little?
Ah, right.
He played with his hands briefly, looking away.
Did you have a good time tonight?
What? Of course I did. The dinner was great. I have this too. I pulled out the small figurine he gave me from my pocket, holding it eye level. What wasn't there to like?
All right. Good.
His tone hinted that things weren't good and he was just being polite. What's wrong?
Well, I'm going to sound like a jerk for this.
Oh?
I had a great time, honest. But something just didn't spark. I assumed it would like last time, but
nothing. I blinked, unsure what to make of it. Immediately I started to wonder if I did something wrong or said something to upset him, but he continued.
I mean, do I think you're cute? Yes. Do I like you a whole lot? Well, absolutely.
He looked at me looking ashamed.
I think I like you too much for the wrong reasons. I think I love you, but not romantically. Not anymore, anyway.
A frown, not of anger, but confusion. The feeling in my chest made me feel like I was hurting, but I couldn't place how or why specifically.
I'm so sorry, Dave.
It sucks. I started to chuckle, feeling my eyes starting to water. I couldn't tell if they were tired from being tired or from being genuinely upset, but I was laughing all the same. This really sucks, Dean.
Well, I know I'm screwing this up. I made that mistake once already with Rami. I don't want to go and do wrong by someone else I care about.
What about my feelings? Why don't I get a say? Can't we try and make it work anyway? He seemed a little stunned at my question, looking me over trying to figure something out. What if I love you? What then?
I'm sorry, but As
he fumbled over his words, I felt angry, scared and betrayed. Not from just Dean, but myself, and I think that was making it worse.
Close your eyes, Dave.
A single comment shook me out of my build in distress, and I looked at him confused.
Huh?
Why?
Just do it.
Please. I was reluctant, but I did it anyway.
Good. Okay. Now take a deep breath, and I want you to think about something.
What?
Now really think about this. When you close your eyes and think about the person you like the most, who is it?
It's,
No, don't need to tell me.
I felt Dean put his hand on my face and I trembled as I felt him get closer. The contact never came. Instead, I heard the unmistakable sound of the door behind us opening. Dean pulled back slowly, looking at Tyson with a weary gaze, uneasy. My eyes flicked between the two of them, comparing how Dean was stoic and Ty was struggling to process what was happening.
What the? Oh, right, figures. Well, fuck you too.
Wait, Ty. I was half up for just feed back inside and I felt a sinking feeling somewhere in my chest. What was going on? Why was he behaving this way despite what happened earlier? I could feel my breathing pick up. The moment Dean grabbed my hand, I froze.
Go make sure he's alright.
But
I'll be fine. He probably needs you right now.
Once more I was confused by my legs already moving, scrambling towards the door and throwing it open so I could give chase. I wasn't in the foyer, which made sense for how quick he was to leave. I wondered where he'd have gone. The gym, maybe? Seemed too obvious, but something was drawing me upstairs. Following my gut, I headed to his bedroom. The door was ajar when I got there. I eased it open and see him sitting on the edge of his bed with his face buried in his hands. Ty? Closing the door behind me, I wandered closer and heard the sounds of sobbing. He didn't move, didn't flinch. As far as I knew, he didn't know I was there. I eased myself down next to him, unsure what to say. Thankfully, he spoke first.
Oh, I'm so fucked up.
His words came out as a croak, followed him by wiping his nose on the back of his arm. He's trying hard not to look at me. Once or twice I saw him look over only to dip his gaze away soon after. What do you mean? I could see the snarl before I started. The moment I leaned back, he grabbed fistfuls of his own fur and struggled as he tugged.
All that shit I said before.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And here I go fucking ruin your date or whatever. Why the hell did you come up here anyway?
I don't know.
Fuck, just think about you two like that, walking in on that.
He trailed off there, replacing words with a growl. His fists were clenched, at least having moved away from his fur, seemed to threaten to draw blood from how tense he was.
I'm such a fucking coward.
Why?
That should have been me.
That should have been you, kissing me.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know, Ty. His eyes were scanning me, trying to find something to say, but I got in first. I don't know what's going on between us. I don't know I can help. I don't know what happened. I don't know why you're being all close to me, only for you to say such mean things earlier today. It sucked. I breathed in, continuing putting on my serious face. I assumed if I stopped, I'd lose my momentum. It hurt, worse than you've ever hurt me before, and I was scared, confused, torn between hating you and hating myself for letting it happen. Then I go on Dean's Day to try and have something nice, and all I can think about...
All I can think about is what?
Whether or not you hate me. He grabbed me quickly by the collar, his eyes wide and fiery and the corners of his mouth turned up to bare teeth.
I would never hate you.
Then why? What would ever make you be so mean to me? We stayed in silence without an answer for a few moments, for I felt his hands flex against my fur, and watched as he looked away to breathe in deep. When he turned to me again, he had an intense stare as if sizing me up. Tyson? He breathed in deep again, for almost bearing out his words as if in defiance of what they meant.
I'm fucking queer, alright? Yeah.
The absurdity of it made my mouth twitch upwards, despite a deep panic to not want to annoy Tyson further. That said, it didn't stop that trademark chuckle, with it Tyson roughly adjusting his grip on me again. He pulled me to him, our noses touching, but it's enough to stop me laughing. Not that he did anything to get rid of the smile on my face.
Don't you dare fucking laugh.
I'm sorry? I snickered a little more, not really sure what to say or do or what was appropriate as far as a reaction.
God, just... fuck it.
It was only a slight adjustment, rather than our noses touching and had his mouth against mine in a kiss, or what could be called one. There was no technique, and it was closer to him just pressing his mouth against mine. The moment I parted my mouth, he seemed to relax, and he leaned in harder, pulling me closer too. It felt so surreal having him like this that I didn't even know what to do with my hands. Without breaking the kiss, he pushed me back on the bed, causing me to squeak against his tongue. For not for 1 second did he stop, even as he shifted how we were on the bed to be more comfortable. After a couple of minutes, he pulled back, but was just breathing heavy. I looked up at him stunned and looked back at me in a mix of disbelief and fear. Ty?
Yeah?
Did you just...
Shut up, I have something I need to say first.
What?
I love you. I know it's fucked up, I know it's wrong and all the other bullshit that goes with this. I don't know shit about how this is meant to work, but that's the one thing I do know, that
you love me?
Yeah.
He nodded slowly, his expression unchanging.
I really fucking do.
As a brother? He huffed and leaned back, scratching his neck.
If it's as a brother, it's pretty fucked up. I don't know why you're the one that does these things to me, but I hate it.
What kind of things? It was at this moment I realised how he'd shifted us with my rear in his lap. Ah. I just assumed one day you'd be all over me and I wouldn't have to ask. I could just figure it out and then play it off so I'm just helping you out. Then you experiment being gay or whatever.
But I came out to you, Ty. Before Dad, before Orlando. I told you first. I didn't need to experiment.
Look, I don't know how this works. I don't like guys. I don't like girls. I don't like anyone like this.
His hand flexed on my hip and his ears drooped.
I don't know what's happening to myself or why you just... Well, one thing I can't explain about where I fit in the world. But I know you're the exception.
Why didn't you say anything?
Well, that shit scared worried me. What your dad would think.
I shifted up onto my elbows and he leaned back to give me the space. Think you'd been fine with it?
Look, I'm sorry. I fucked up your night and I'm a piece of shit for saying that stuff earlier. But now you know.
I think I'll probably know until I've had time to, process it. He nodded slowly and sighed, looking off to the side. But Ty? He looked at me, confused and curious. I had no idea what was going through my head, but I know I had a choice to make.
What?
I love you.
Really? Even after?
There was a hint of disbelief in his voice, even in a whisper, but I nodded to him. A few more moments passed before he kissed me again, building to that same intensity of when he kissed me the first time. There was enough of a pause to remove my shirt, then his. That was before it became very clear where this was going and where we were getting there fast. We both wanted it, and even after joking about it for a while, we were both eager. Just feeling him against me like this felt right. It made me feel wanted, and now everything else could just wait until after I had my moment with my wolf. The two of us were out of breath. My rear was sore, and for the most part we were sticky. That was... I couldn't describe it. From how Ty was tightly holding my hand, he had the same idea. Even being stuck together a bit, just riding things out was full of feelings I never felt before. Part of me was eager to try it again soon. You alright? His voice was softer, relaxed, as if he were whispering only to me. I think so.
Come on, shower time, you stink.
He scrambled off the bed and dragged me along with him, pushing us into the water the moment it was hot.
Can't be smelling like me right now.
Why not? He just looked at me from over my shoulder. I could feel him riding up under my tail, getting excited all over again.
Can't say shit like that to me. Look, get me going again.
Did you want to go again?
Fuck yes, I do, but...
But what?
Tell me again, Dave. I want to hear you say it. This isn't just some fucked up dream I'm having.
What? That I love you? The wet thumbs of his tail hitting the tiles next to us made me smirk, and he rested his chin on my neck.
One more time?
I love you, Ty.
I already don't deserve you. I hope you know that.
Don't work for it. I'm not going anywhere, but you hurt me like that again, and, well... I barely got the words out for he had his arms around my middle, hugging me tight.
I'll make it up to you. I promise.
You better. The others aren't going to put up with it otherwise. He whined, but I reached back to hug him around the neck. But for now at least you got a boyfriend, right?
Boyfriend?
I could feel the corners of his mouth shift upwards and his tail started wagging all over again. He repeated the word with the slightest hint of excitement, and once more I felt him under my tail. If that's what you want to call this, right?
I do. I really do. Of course I fucking do.
Well, let's get clean so I don't smell of you, so at the very least I can go fill Dean in on what happened. The wagon stopped.
Alright. Oh, shit.
I assume that's why you don't want me smelling like you.
Mostly just need to get used to not having to hide this sort of stuff. You're mine now, right?
So, you'd have been fine with me going to talk to Dean like that?
Probably not a good idea, because when we're alone again, your ass is mine.
I stepped out of the bathroom refreshed while Tyson finished drying off. Ty, I'm going to go find Dean and explain, okay?
Yeah, okay.
He approached me slowly, placing his hands on my shoulders.
Come back soon.
What, afraid I'll be gone for too long?
No.
Aw, Tyson, you make me think you're a hopeless puppy at this rate. I ruffled the fur around his neck. He just stared at me unimpressed.
I expected him to quit back with something, but never came. I won't be long. Good. I'll be waiting. As I came downstairs, I could already hear the yelling. It seemed to be a pattern that yelling happened right after a lull in activity, but I followed it all the same. And another thing! Orlando had one of his fingers erect against Dean's chest, knife in his other hand. He stopped and he looked over at me before turning back to Dean. Saved by the hyena. Am I interrupting something? Just giving Dean a piece of my mind in regard to our mutual friend. Well, any way of contacting him was something I'd have done so to apologise. Maybe he doesn't want an apology. How do you know? You get a feeling for these sort of things. We never told you my name? Well, no. Orlando shrank slightly and Dean turned to me, looking me over. You've had a shower. I'm guessing things went well? Not to mention you were gone for a while. Sorry, things sort of happened. But you're all good now? I think so. Things are good. Well, I'm glad. Sorry it didn't work out, but for what it's worth, if you're happy, then I am too. What didn't work out? The date? Yeah, turns out it just wasn't meant to be. Was it something with the food? No, nothing like that. Just, Where's Tyson? What do you mean, where's Tyson? Upstairs, waiting. Waiting, huh? Waiting for what? I'll tell you tomorrow. Could I borrow Dean for a moment? I guess so. But before I forget, thanks a bunch for tonight, Orlando. I had fun and the food was great. Oh, you're very welcome. Just don't forget to fill me in on what's going on. Dean ushered me into the dining room and closed the door behind him. Well? I want to apologise again. You've got nothing to apologise for. I want to apologise. Things are complicated. But I'm slowly figuring it out. Well, your friend, take all the time you need. I'm happy for you, really. Dean glanced back at the door quickly. Maybe give me a few days to recover, though. Disappointment and all that. Sorry. Oh, don't be. Just do me a favour. What? Well, if he treats you wrong, you let me know, alright? I'll sort him out. Okay, I promise. Maybe I'll show him a couple of things too, depending on what happens. I think we could find something we both like that isn't cartoons anyway. I think he'd like that. Now go on, you have a wolf to get back to. I nodded, and with a wave he sent me on my way, turning around to head back into the kitchen, presumably to where Orlando still was. As for me, I headed back upstairs to where Tyson was. I went back to Tyson's room and looked around. The moment I closed the door behind me, I was clapped and pinned against the door in another kiss, just as clumsy as the first one. You're back. Told you I wouldn't be gone long. You coming to bed now? Did you want to call it this early, or...? He stepped forward and started to grind against me shamelessly. What he wanted was clear as anything. I chuckled nervously, finding having a similar effect on me from the prospect of it, momentarily forgetting the tenderness in my behind from earlier. You don't want to go to sleep at all, do you? Nope. He had his hands on me again, touching without restraint, eyes filled with a giddy hunger that made me feel small but just as eager. Okay, before we do, we need to have a small talk. What was there to talk about? Starters, I want to sleep in my room, at least for tonight. Alright, well, let's go. Wait, that's not all. What else? I like what we did, I really do, but we don't have to do it all the time, you know. But it felt great, at least doing it with you felt great, you know. Right, but we can still just cuddle, we can talk about things, just now we can also do other stuff, right? He seemed to think it over as he reached out for my face. Are you sure? I didn't have to go check back up on Dean, I probably would have said yes in the shower. Stop teasing me. Not my fault you've been stopping yourself from being a horn dog. I'm not a... You are, but I like it. Just don't go making dumb jokes about it. How about this? We go to my room, we can do whatever we want. Anything? Yep. Well, shit, let's go. Let me grab some clothes or whatever, we can go to bed. He quickly moved around the room and gathered his things and marched out of the room with me in tow. Didn't even care that he was just in his boxers. The moment we were in my room, he threw his clothes off to the side and was kissing me again. He flicked the light off and we made our way over to the bed. Him undressed me along the way and we settled into a repeat of what we'd done not even an hour earlier. We fell asleep sometime later, exhausted and still as close together as we possibly could be. Ty holding me against his front, with the two of us just as messy as we'd been before the shower. I just have to deal with it in the morning. But now I was happy. And there we go. That was Tyson's Day 19. That's why we have to leave password just for the moment. There wasn't a patron update this month, so it means no public update next month and no videos. So might be a little bit of a gap, but we will definitely get to it when there's another public update for Tyson or Dean. There will be definitely a few things filling in, especially there's more Tennis Ace coming up this month, which I am definitely going to fit in to the schedule. It's been a while, so we'll need to get back to that. And maybe some other things approaching in the late winter, spring as well. I might try a couple of new titles. If we have time, we'll see. So always special thanks to my patrons for helping out. I really appreciate what you do. And my top tier patrons are Burnt Toast, Kartek, Cobus Visser, Besuksu, Dissonance, Sindri Dragowolf, Tiger Cub, Gunnar Muller, Kopi, Marcus, Lark Huskerton, Bastian, Brandon Bradford, Ida Corval, Anubis Silverwind, Brian Hall, Samuto, David Taylor, Evan King, and Grizz. We can also thank for Password. And also Siv Valian is part of the Password team. We've provided the music. And also Siv wrote the music for my channel as well, which a lot of people are asking about. So thanks, Siv. Everyone likes it, trust me. That is it for now, as I say. So until next time, bye for now.